whoever just joined. Morning, guys. I'm just in the process of getting everything set up. So I just got to do it, and I should be good. Video share should be working. You guys should be able to see everything. Patrick, hello. Yes, you are the first. How are you, bud? Who else we got on this live stream? Don't be shy. Say what's up. Milaz, good day, buddy. I should say, good day, mate. Hope everyone's doing well. Milaz, hope you're doing well in Australia. I'm not sure what time it is. I think it's like midnight there from what you said yesterday. William Evans, what's up? How are you? First time I'm seeing your name. That's awesome. Crazy day today for sure. Yes. Hey, welcome. I appreciate you joining this live stream. Yeah, basically the live stream wasn't supposed to start until 9:30, but I decided to just log on a little earlier just so I didn't have any issues getting on at 9:30. Let's see. Patrick locked in some good trades yesterday. Hoping for gains today as well. Dash might see a pump. Dash took a, yeah. I mean, it's up a lot higher than what it was, 8.26%. I think it fell under 0.09 BTCs when you pair with BTC. Monero's down. Of course, Ether was down. Ether wasn't really moving yesterday for us. ZCASH is down. Bitcoin shows, my graph shows that it's down, but it shows that it's up 3.6%. It's just after midnight for you, Milas. Man, it's 9:19 a.m. where I'm at. So kind of just getting my morning started. Yeah, William, I'm glad you found us too, man. But yeah, William, I'm going to be honest with you. You have technical difficulties. It works great in the morning for a couple hours, and then I'm in a town with about 45,000 college students, and once they wake up, they start hogging up the bandwidth. But you know, my router is pretty good. I don't have anything else connected to it. You know, my charts work great. It's just this Google Hangout. Basically, when I'm uploading, download is not an issue at all. Who else we got on here? I don't think my my normal viewers are on this. Danny, Dylan, Billy, Logan's Run, ECS, Vince, Luke Adam. Kyle Puss hasn't been on in a while. I realize you're the only one that's my regular that's on here. Anybody catch any good trades? William's asking, basically, when does BTC go back up? Man, there's a lot of crazy things happening. It all depends on the news. I don't think it's going to go up anytime soon. It did crack 1100 yesterday, which I thought was kind of impressive for it. But yeah, we need for things to settle down. But I'm not trading BTC. I'm mainly focused on Ethereum. Got a couple more people joining. But yeah, don't be shy. Say what's up. It's a great community we got here. What about Dash? Dash. I mean, it's up, 9.5%. So if you guys caught the little dip, I didn't see what it dropped to. Maybe 90, I'm going to say. Let's take a look at Poloniex. But I wasn't up this morning to catch that drop on Ethereum. I mean, I was up, but I had a couple things to take care of. I wasn't at my computer. But when I saw it on my phone to start dipping, I was like, oh, I should have had a buy order in for that. Because it hit 38.50 and almost to 41 bucks now. So that's not a bad gain at all. Almost $2.50 per coin. Yeah, I don't think I would get into Dash at this moment, to be honest with you. When I started this live stream, I had someone ask me about Dash when it was at 80, and I wouldn't get into it then. But I did say, hey, there's a possibility it can go to 100. But for me at 80, it's a little risky, considering how fast it moved up. I expected it to kind of come down to at least 60. That would have been a good entry for me. And my Poloniex chart doesn't seem to work to see what it dropped to yesterday. We move Dash to ETC. That's a great move. Let's see, after today's early pump, yesterday ETC was up pretty good. I haven't looked at ETC, but I know yesterday it was up to like almost a little under 225. That's not bad. I remember looking at that I saw it at 130 and I was like, no, not yet. And then when it went up to like 195, I was like, okay, if it comes down to 140, that'll be a great entry for me. And it didn't drop to that price point. Oh, wow. Let's see. Litecoin's a little under $4. Where's my ETC? Yeah, it's still hovering at that 223 range for ETC. So it's heading, I mean, it's holding those gains, which is good. It's just not a pure pump and then dumping it back down to where it came from. But Monero, I'm waiting for under 20. 19 would be great. But I'll have to analyze the chart and see exactly where there might be good resistance, where there might be good support. But I can't seem to get the chart for Dash to work. Definitely want to see what it dropped to. I don't think it broke under 90. Yeah, Dash definitely has that support, with the miners and the master nodes. Definitely does. Got Ether at 0.0376 after dumping Dash. Yeah, I like looking at the USDT pair because it gives me a better idea. Patrick, you think Steam is going to be oh, okay, you're talking about Dash. I thought you mentioned Steam. They have a lot of marketing. That's a nice thing about Dash. They definitely have the marketing. So I mean, it could go higher. It definitely could go higher. But you got to remember, there's people that want to lock in profits at some point. And if they all decide to do it at the same time, we could get a drop. Oh, you got F, not ETC. Okay. All right, William. What did you catch F at? Did you catch it under 30, under 39? All right, here's my dash chart now. Dash got to, yeah, just a little under 90. Let's see what that was. 88 and change. Yeah, the chart doesn't want to cooperate with me. But yeah, it broke under 90 though, not much. So that was a good support for it. 89.15, I think it got to. So that's not bad at all. And then it came right back. So there's definitely no crash under 80. 88.69, 88.70 was the low that it actually hit. Who else we got on this live stream? Margin trading is not bad. I haven't really used up the whole margin yet, but there's no interest, which is nice for right now. But there will be interest later on. But as of right now, there's no interest, and you can only hold for 28 days. So after 28 days, you got to liquidate. So that's a max hold period if you're trading on margin. Be careful, Logan. There you are, buddy. But Patrick, in regards to that question about GDAX and margin, be very careful. Be very, very careful. Yeah, margin can definitely kill you. Can't stay long, Danny. Welcome, buddy. Let's see. Who do I need to talk to real quick? Danny, shoot me an email. CryptoTrader247@gmail.com. Just so I have your contact information. You're at work right now, Danny. So what do you guys think about, I don't know if you guys were watching Ethereum this morning. Logan, what'd you think, bud? I know, that entry that I was looking for at 31.25, where there was a resistance or actually support, cracked through it. It cracked through it pretty hard. Yeah, Patrick, that's a great idea, man. Stay away from margin for right now. And if you do, don't use it all. Maybe use a little bit of it. But, if the trade goes against you and you're using the whole leverage or the whole margin, I mean, they will liquidate your account. They won't ask. It'll just automatically do it. Lisk, I haven't looked at that yet. Hopefully you got a good entry. You weren't surprised, Logan? Yeah, I did not expect it to, to crack under 40. But you know what I did. I think you know me better than anybody else on this live stream. What do you think? What do you think happened with that order I had in? I know sound and video is excellent right now. Yesterday you jinxed me, man. You said that, and then that's when I had all the issues. But yeah, it works great in the morning. It's just that's the afternoon. These college kids, man. They usually drink all night, sleep in the morning, and then they're up and hogging up the bandwidth. Danny, you bought it on the drop. I'm assuming with Lisk. Nice, dude. That's the best time. Wait for the drop and get in. Don't buy at the top. That's what my daughter did. She bought at the top. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you're not shorting. This is a long position. It's not buy high and sell low when you're taking a long position. Hey, at least you know you got position, Danny. I mean, even though it's only 400, you know, you got skin in the game. What do you think, Logan? You know me better than anybody else. But I'll tell you the mistake I made, though. And it was just a little minor mistake. But of course, you know, I was supposed to meet with my buddy last night, and he was like, "Oh, you want me to bring beer over?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, let's just go have one beer at the bar, and then you know we'll come back and have him take a look at some of the stuff that I have." But you know that going to the bar and having one beer, it's like opening a bag of chips and only eating one. You just can't do that. So unfortunately, you know, we didn't make it back to my place until late. And he was like, "Dude, he's like, we got to do this some other time." I was like, "Yeah, I don't blame you. I understand." Yeah, kids don't listen, Milaz. You know, it's like it's buy low. If you're going to long this position, but if she were to short it, oh man, you know, too bad GDX doesn't offer taking short positions. But if she would have shorted it, I would have been so happy. I would have probably covered at 42 though. You think I got into that position, Logan? Yeah, Danny, I wasn't on my computer. I was kind of looking at it on the phone. I was taking my son to the bus stop, and you know the graph on Coinbase is pretty bad. So it didn't indicate that it dropped to 38.50. It indicated that it dropped to like just a little on like 38.70, 38.80 is kind of what I saw from the chart. And then when I got to my computer, I was like, oh wow. I'm like, did it really drop to 38.50 on the dot? So no, Logan. I mean, you know me better. I basically when I got home last night, you know, I wasn't doing anything. Let's get back to GDAX. So you know, I'm not going to go to bed with an open position, or actually, I'm sorry, with an open order at that high price, considering it was just teeter-tottering, you know, close to it. So I set a lowball offer. But the mistake that I made last night after coming home and having a couple of beers was when I basically went to put in that limit buy, I actually set a market buy for I think it was like 230 ether. Market buy, not paying attention, hit submit, saw what happened, hit cancel, and five and a half ether, a little under 5.5 ether got executed at $42.45. And that was 10 hours ago from now. So 11:30ish, 11:34 p.m. But I'm glad I canceled it after I realized the mistake that I made. And it's so easy to make those mistakes. I mean, you know, I could have just kind of turned my head and, you know, all of it would have been executed at that high price. And that was, let's see. But yeah, it didn't go up after that because I looked at it for a little bit and I was like, all right, you know, it's only, you know, under 5.5 ether. Like, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, it was right up here. We're still kind of right at this green little candle with the wick. 42.45 was execution on that. But yeah, canceled it right away. So not much got executed. And then I put in just kind of a low ball offer. And I think the low ball offer was like 32 bucks, 32 and change. I put it to. I wasn't going to put a $40 offer, you know, considering it was right at 42.18. But this morning, you know, if I would have left that $40 and I'm sorry, 41.25 on there, it would have been executed at, let's see what time, at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. in the morning, it would have executed it, and then I would have been down when I started at 38.50 or when it dropped to 38.50. But yeah, if anybody caught it, you know, under 39 bucks, you know, that's not bad if you scalped it. You know, I mean, if you just, you know, waited an hour, it's not even an hour really, you know, 45 minutes, If you caught 39, sell at 41. You probably wouldn't have got out at 41.15. I mean, $2 per coin, that wouldn't have been bad. But it is coming back down. I'm going to try to scalp this today, to be honest with you. You know, I'll try to get in at 38 real quick and maybe get out at 39, 40 if it gets up there. But yeah, it's been downtrending. It has been downtrending. Let's take a look at our main chart. So this live stream is going to go on till 12 today, and then it's going to end, and then I got to go pick up my daughter, and then I set another one from 1 to 3, so it'll only be for 2 hours, and then after that I got some stuff that I need to take care of, so I won't be in front of a computer. Camgo, welcome, buddy. How are you? Yeah, if anybody caught it, man, I mean, that would have been a nice drop. But I don't know if I would trust this thing, you know, to really get back up to, you know, the $45 level. I don't think I would trust it at all. And my crypto watch chart doesn't seem to work today. It's not cooperating. Can't change the time frame. So is anybody currently holding a position? Yeah, we can't look at the trend line today. I might have to, let me see if I can refresh it. I think, you know, as they're integrating it with Kraken, I'm sure we're going to have some issues. And I think that's what might be happening. But welcome to whoever's joining. And if you're on the sideline just watching, not chatting, say what's up. Introduce yourself. Camgo, I mean, that's a good question. If anybody that's really watching this after the live stream is done, Camgo is asking, you know, how much do I need to start trading on CryptoTrader? Well, you can't trade on CryptoTrader. You know, that's just kind of the name that I go by. But you can use, you know, GDAX, Coinbase, which, I mean, I wouldn't use Coinbase, but GDAX is owned by Coinbase. It's a better exchange price that you're going to get. You can use Poloniex, Kraken, Gemini. I mean, there's so many different exchanges that you can use. But in regards to how much, you know, it really depends on you, on what you're willing to lose, to be honest with you. It can't be money that you actually need to sustain your living. So if you have money that you're willing to lose, I mean, the game is not to lose any money, of course. But if you lose that money, it's not the end of the world. You know, if that makes sense. Monero for long, you know, if I can get my chart to work, I wouldn't long it here. I would long it, you know, under 20, I think, and then get out 23.50, under 24. I don't know. It's a tough call. It really didn't have that nice run up, like crazy run up, like some of the alts did. So it's pretty stable. So it all depends too what your time frame is and how long you want to hold it for. But I do like Monero. I just don't know if I like it at this current price. Patrick, you're into Bitcoin and Dash. Hopefully your entry wasn't too high. I try not to take entries that are at a very high price. I usually, try to wait for them to come to me based on the analysis that I come up with. And they'll get close to my price point, but they won't hit my price point at my buy-in price. And it's been a little discouraging on Saturday, where I got very close to the bottom, and it just missed it by like 25 cents, 70 cents. Yeah, so Camgo, I wouldn't start out too much, to be honest with you. Don't go all in. It's a dangerous game to play. William Evans, let's see. You got Monero at $4.50. Woo, dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. You bought it bare bottom, basically. Now, what's your plan of exit? I mean, do you have a plan, or are you just going to hold on to it? And since you're not buying over 16, what are you going to do if it drops to under 16 with the Monero that you currently have? Yeah, that's a great entry, man. Danny, Kraken, I would talk to Bill. He hasn't been on. He wasn't on yesterday, but Bill, I think, uses Kraken using his VPN because he lives in New York City, and they don't allow some of the exchanges. But the problem with Kraken is that there's no volatility. There's no volume, so you could be stuck in a trade and not be able to get out. If you look at Crypto Watch, the volume, because it will tell you the volume on Kraken and volume just about in every exchange for different currencies, and the volume is very low. So let's just say on Monero, Kraken has a 2,935 volume, and Poloniex has 378,000. So there's a lot more liquidity on Poloniex than there is on Kraken. So until there's a volatility on Kraken, until there's high liquidity, I don't know if I would use Kraken at the moment. But they do have some of the best charting tools. They're actually incorporating Crypto Watch to their charting. I like their how you're able to execute orders. They have trailing stops, trailing loss. So I do like that. But volume has to be there. So William Evans, you're going to hold. So what is the price that you're looking at getting out? Is there? I mean, do you have a plan of action, or you're buying and hoping that it keeps going up? Because nothing goes up forever. I mean, Dash is an exception, of course, but not everything's going to follow the same direction as Dash has. But I do like Monero. I really do like it. That's definitely something I'm looking for. But it's down from its 24. It was at 24 bucks. No, actually, Danny, I don't use VPN. I do not, because I live in a state that allows me to basically use any exchange. There's no restrictions at all. I mean, New York City's pretty tough, man. It's pretty tough. You can deposit cash as long as they do service the country that you're living in. So I don't know if they service Australia, Milaz, but if they do, yes, you can link your bank account to it and be able to transfer funds, or you can transfer BTC. And that's why I use Gemini, and I use Coinbase as well too, because I'm able to link my bank account to it, transfer funds to it. I also have Poloniex because it has volatility, it has high volume. But you guys know with that, you can only deposit other cryptocurrencies. All right, let's see what our Ether is doing. Yeah, William, I mean, just pay attention to the news, see what's happening. I'm always a fan of, taking profit, locking that profit in, waiting for a dip, and then getting back in. I mean, I'm sure there are people, that bought Ether at a very cheap price. They probably bought it at 10, 15. Let's just say under 20 they bought it. And it started running up and running up and running up. And they were probably thinking, you know what, this can get to 60, it can get to 70, it can get to 80, it can get to 100. And, and if they didn't let go of it, if they didn't lock in those profits, above 50, they lost majority of the profits now. But I mean, anybody that got in, I would say above, below 30 is pretty good. If somebody got in at 38.50 and they were holding, they basically broke even this morning at 8 a.m. Yes, dude, Patrick, I like that entry. That's a good entry for Dash. $52 is not bad at all, considering where it's at now. You bet us to get out at 132. So yeah, you have that plan of execution. You have that plan of action. Once you get into a trade and stick to that plan of action, and now say, if it gets to 132, don't say, what, I can get to 150, because it might. But then when it gets to 150, you're going to say, what, I can get to 160. That's happened to me many times before trading stocks. But let me take a look at this chart, because I do have an order in, and I don't want it to execute if I think it's going to go down further. Does anybody have GDAX up on their own? I know, Logan, you normally do. Does anybody else just log into GDAX, or has a GDAX, or looking to open a GDAX account? Now, you don't have to open an account to use, well, I mean, you need an account in order to trade, but just to view what I'm viewing, you don't need an account. But if you do plan on opening an account, there is a link at the bottom of this video that you can click on, where you set up an account, and I think you trade, where you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. They will actually give you $10 worth of Bitcoin for free, and they'll give me $10 worth of Bitcoin for free. It's just kind of like a referral system. But I would just open up GDAX. You can click on View Demo, and then it'll show you the exact same thing that I'm seeing. Yeah, William, no problem, man. Just have a plan, stick to your plan. That's the best way. And like I said, I mean, there's times where, I took profit and it went up, and you're just like, I should have held on. But there was times where, I took the profit and it came down. It went up maybe, 20 cents, 30 cents. And then, I basically sold 100 Ether the other day at 45.20. Went up to 45.25. I mean, I basically almost caught it just at the top. And after that, it came. I could have easily said, you know what? I think she's going to touch, 50. I could have easily said that. And then, what do you know? It wouldn't touch 50. It wouldn't even go above 45.25. So, I mean, lock in the profits. If it goes up, yeah, it goes up. If it goes down, you're going to be proud of it, of your exit. But I always say, to the people that are on here, it's always better to wish, that you were in a trade than to wish that you were out of that trade. Because when it goes against you, it's not good. Patrick, that's the entry I'm looking for. Let's see. I forget what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Dash. Yes, you're talking about Dash. Yeah, I like it in the $60 range. I just don't want to buy high because then it's risky. For me, it's risky. You know, everybody has their own risk tolerance. Danny, thank you for joining, bud. I appreciate it. Yeah, don't forget about shooting me that email so I have your contact information. I'm going to be sending you guys an email. But yeah, let's see if this thing comes back down. You know, I don't want to get in at 38.50. I wish my chart would work because I don't even know if that 38.01 that I have in the order book is going to be a good entry. But with the 238 Ether, I mean, if it does execute, you know, I'm looking to get out right away with it. The other ones I'm going to hold. But the 236.3881, I'm going to get rid of it. Yeah, I can't seem to zoom in and out on this chart. Yeah, sorry about the issue, guys. But what I wanted to do is get some trend lines drawn out because that kind of gives me a good idea of, you know, what I think is going to be trending. But I do like the up and down movement. That's pretty good. So volume is returning from yesterday being pretty stagnant. Yeah, issues with Crypto Watch right now. And this is a 30-minute time frame candlesticks that I'm looking at. Is anybody looking to buy Ether today? Or are you guys just here to watch me attempt to trade, possibly get into a trade? All right, let me close out Crypto Watch. I'll open it up on Chrome instead of Firefox. Oh, here we go. Oh, William, man, what are my thoughts on bots? Yeah, it was pretty crazy. This is your first time on this, but yeah, if you watch the previous videos, especially when they showed up, You know, they do provide liquidity. They do provide volume. They do provide that up and down swing. And that's kind of what I look for. But they can heavily manipulate, anything that they're trading. And that's just what I don't like about it. And just we got to be able to catch it, because we don't want to be stuck holding the bag and just get a bad entry because they're completely manipulating it. But overall, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's just the manipulation part I don't like. All right, let's see what this thing's going to do today. And I'll be honest with you guys. That was not a soft break at the $40 level. It broke it with a vengeance. So that's why I don't trust this thing at above 40 at all. This could trend in the $30, $40 range. We'll have to see, how far she gets. But I'll like this thing at 37.30, 37.50. But this, Ethereum right now is trying to find its place. It's trying to find its price. It hasn't found its price yet. And if I was to kind of speculate on what I think its true value is currently right now, later on it could go up, but anywhere from 30 to 35, I think it's its true price. It can play the 30, 35 for a while, and then kind of gradually start increasing that to a more higher trend line. But going from 30 to 45, like this chart is it's great for traders. It's nerve-wracking for investors. Because as an investor, you want to see a gradual rise. You don't want to see these violent increase and then comes crashing back down. Yeah, based on this chart, I like the anywhere from 36.50 to 37. That would be a good entry, and it could easily get there easily. So I don't like that entry at 38.01. And the reason why I put 38.01 on there is because it dropped to 38.50, went up, and I was expecting a nice dip where people that bought maybe at 42 were looking to cut their losses a little smaller than taking a bigger loss. And then usually, when we get a nice dip and it goes up, it's going to dip right back down again. And just have that volatility of the up and down swing. So I was looking, for maybe $1, $2 gain right away. So yeah, guys, don't make the mistake that I made by not really looking at how you're placing your trades, and accidentally putting in a limit order when you mean to put in accidentally putting in a market order when you mean to put in a limit order. Let me see if I missed any of these comments. All right, I had a hard time yesterday catching up to the comments. But yeah, welcome to anybody that's just joining. If you're on the sideline, just watching, don't be shy. Say what's up. Introduce yourself. Now, Patrick, when you said you're waiting for a drop to 37, how did you come up with that conclusion? Like, do you read charts and take a look at charts, or that's just what you feel comfortable buying at? Patrick, let's see. Looking to scalp. Looking to scalp, if I can get an, I don't know what that's supposed to be, an in. Although there's a lot of trade money coming in by the end of the month, as always. So we really have to look out for yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Those volatile movements, those up and down swings. That's what we look for. And I got to see if bots are in play. And we got to be able to catch some of the manipulations. I talked to, if you guys are new on here, we did talk about some of the different types of manipulation that are out there. And Logan does a great job of, finding some of those and keeping an eye on them. Because really, there's only so many things I can keep an eye on. And I might miss, a large order being put on and then taken off. And I can talk about what we saw the other day, just so you know exactly what to look for. So bots are in play today on the sell side. They're huge. Oh man, they've completely taken over the sell side order book. So they can drive this down today. They can really drive it down. And I hate to say this, but if they drive it down, it might just crack a little under 30 before coming back up. They're also on the buy side as well too. So when you're trying to determine if these are bots or not, you're looking for basically the same order. So we got 0.051153. There's a couple of those. 0.010007. There's a couple of those. 0.052691. There's a couple of those. 0.011105. 0.051105. They try to change it up a little bit to trick us. But I can catch these things and look at them and say, you know what, it's just pure manipulation. And that's what it was the first day that they came on GDAX. But yeah, and not every single trader out there or even investor is going to put in the same order for the same amount. And if you look at, the price point, they're only a penny increments from each other that they're putting these orders in. Same thing on the sell side. But the first day, the orders were all the same. Then the second day, they got a little better. So what they're doing is they're fixing the bugs. They're tweaking it. Whoever's programming the bots to be as efficient as it can and to be able to trick us. Because they don't want us to know that bots are in control, and when they are, it's kind of hard to play with them. But when it starts running, I mean, they can really run it up. So you're not going to get in at the bottom, you're not going to get out at the top, but you can get in somewhere and then get out before they start getting out. But even after you get out, they can run it up and then cause it to drop. So I'm not looking for an entry at 38.01 on this. Vince, welcome, buddy. Hope all's well. So that's one manipulation, with the bots. Same orders on the buy and sell side. The other type of manipulation you want to watch out for, and traders are very smart. They might change it up a little bit, but you just got to be able to adapt to their changes. Is, let's just say hypothetically, I have and this has happened. We saw it. Logan has seen it. The people that were on here when we caught it have seen it. So let's just say hypothetically, I have a 1,000 ether that I want to sell, but I mean, I have a good amount of money now that margin trading is allowed. You're getting leverage. You're getting 2 times the amount leverage, or 1.5 times the amount leverage. So if I'm trying to get rid of that 1,000 ether at a certain price point and it's not moving for me, I can manipulate the market to move, or ether to move in the direction that I want it to. All I got to do is go in and put in a buy order for a large amount, 1,500 ether, 2,000 ether. I'll put that in. The average person that doesn't know how to catch these things is going to think there's a good wall at this price point. Let me get in before this trader, before his order is executed, because it's going to cause it to run up. So you got buyers that are stacking up above this person to try to get their order executed. Price starts moving up. His sell order gets executed, the 1,000 that he's looking to sell, and then he's automatically going to cancel the 1,500, 2,000 ether that he's looking to buy. He got ether to move in his direction. It got him out. So you got to pay attention. So I look at the order book like a hawk, and the only way to know that it's one person is it comes on instantly, and then it goes away instantly. If things are being added to that order, you can't tell if that's one person or not. But let's just say we see a 2,500 ether that's on the sell side. We don't know automatically if that's one person or not because we didn't see it flatten. But if we're keeping an eye on that large order, and I do keep an eye out on large orders above 1,000. If I see that 2,000 ether automatically dropped off and there's 500 left, automatically I know that there's one seller with 2,000 ether he's looking to get rid of, automatically. So I pay attention for any 2,000 ethers that are on the sell side that start flashing, coming off, going away, on the sell side. Once I see that, I automatically think like every other trader, and I say, okay, let's see if this person is trying to manipulate the price movement. I'll start looking at the buy side and see if there's any ether large orders that automatically pop out of nowhere and flash up. Or if I don't see it and I do see a large order, I'll keep an eye out on that large order and I'll see if any of those ethers drop off and then they get put on at a different price point. Because if the price is not moving and he's already got a buy order in to try to get the price to move, he's going to take that buy order, cancel it, and raise and move that buy order up higher. So then he's going to move it up above it, and then people are going to think, oh, I got to get in. This person's really looking to get in. He must know something that I don't know. This price is going to move. So then it goes up. He gets out. Everybody's left holding the bag. So we want to prevent, each other from being stuck in those bags and stuck in those type of trades where somebody manipulates it. You end up getting in. He sells. It tanks because he decided to cancel his buy order. Let me know if that makes sense. Henridge, welcome, buddy. Yes, you're absolutely right, man. Yeah, they were all over BTC as well as Ether. The only thing they didn't touch was Litecoin. There's no movement. There's no volatility. There's no one really trading it. You know, I think people might be holding, but they did not play with Litecoin at all. Now they are on Gemini, because the first day that we saw this, I logged on to Gemini, looked at their order book. They weren't there. Yesterday, they were there, actually, because I talked about it, and I hadn't logged back on. But I don't know if ECS Fusion is on here, but he logged on to Gemini and notified me that, hey, you know, the bots are back in play on Gemini. So it's only really a matter of time on Poloniex, that they go on Kraken, that they're on just about every exchange. So I think this is a beta test. They're testing it. And the problem is, you know, the cryptocurrency, it's a brand new market. It's creating a whole new market for millionaires, billionaires, you know, big time investors, because they've already really, you know, they've manipulated the stock market. They want to find a whole different market to manipulate and grow their wealth beyond belief. So we really got to watch out for that. Thank you for sharing that insight, bud, about possible an uptrend on BTC. And Antminer just started selling a new batch of miners. And that basically, you know, from what Patrick is saying, if anybody's watching this after the live stream, he's saying that basically it means the difficulty will go up, and hopefully the price will increase with it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. William, you sold F at 0.038856 for a rebuy later today. You bought it at, yeah, you know, you got out with a profit. I don't know what it's at now, if it's on the downside. And I'm assuming you're using Poloniex. Yes, BTC is dropping. That's why I didn't like that 3801 entry point. We'll see if this thing touches 30. I mean, she could do it easily. Patrick, since you're on Bitstamp, do you see any type of manipulation in the sense of bots? So when you're looking at the order book, you're looking at for orders that are the same and that are small. You know, like 215106. So now what they started doing was they started changing it up a little bit, but they'll put in the same order 5 times, and then they'll change up the numbers a little bit, but they'll put in those same orders 6 times or 4 times. If they were single entries that were different price points or different, you know, ethers, honestly, I probably wouldn't have caught it. I probably wouldn't have thought anything about it at all. But when I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the same amount of ether that's being bought and it's under, you know, 0.25, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. You know, one trader's not going to go in and put in the same order at a penny increments at all. So now they're going to, you know, 0.04. So 0.04, 0.04, 0.04. But Logan, I know since you do have GDAX up, let me know if you see anything crazy in the sense of a large buyer, large seller popping up, and we'll keep an eye on him or her. Oh, Dylan, the 100 ether, nothing. Yeah, I should have probably got out at the, you know, I should have sold everything at the 45, 20 for a little profit. But, you know, since I'm adding on to the position, you know, that's going to heavily lower my cost average, or my daughter's cost average, 4-year-old daughter buying ether. But I don't know if you were on here earlier when I told the guys about the mistake I made. When I meant to place a limit order before I went to bed, I actually placed a market order, and it was for a lot of ether. It was for a lot, and I was actually, you know, using my buying power, the margin buying power that I have. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, I hit cancel, and only, you know, only 5.41 and a couple, you know, and a couple queued. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta cancel it. cancel. But yeah, all of it could have been executed at the 42.45 price level. And that was about 11:45 p.m. last night. And I was like, I can't believe I made that mistake. Like, how did that happen? But Dylan, I don't know if it was you that said, drinking and trading, don't go hand in hand. I think it was you. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. You can't go out drinking and then come and attempt to place a trade, even though you're putting in a limit order. Patrick, let's see. Oh, actually, Vince, where did you buy BTC at? I mean, I bought one BTC at 1240 because it was just leveled out there, and I just wanted it so I can transfer it over to Poloniex just so I can trade with it. But yeah, I bought it at 1240, and and it dipped to I think it dipped to like 1220, like right after I bought it, like a minute later, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. I could have waited a couple seconds. But no, I'm still holding on to that because I'm going to use that to trade. I gotta look at the BTC price. Oh man, CoinCap has it at it was just at 1,009. $1,008. Interesting. I didn't know GDAX had the chart for like Ether BTC pair. Interesting. And also remember, guys, if you're using GDAX and you place a market order, you're going to pay commission. If you place a limit order, because for people to look at, then you're not going to pay commission. So that 5.41 Ether that I bought, I paid 68 cents, under 69 cents in commission for it. Yeah, Vince, the best thing to do is, if it gets low enough, add to your position. The recent low was about 920. I think 910 on Poloniex, but 920, 919, 99, something to that extent on GDAX. So if you bought high, there's no sense of selling low. That's really not the game unless you're shorting. Add to the position, lower your cost average. That's the way I would play it. But yeah, I mean, it could drop. You're absolutely right. It could drop. It could drop to back to that 910 level. You're getting in with 20 BTCs, Patrick. Or if it gets to 1,000, you're buying 20 BTCs. Now the question I would have for you is, are you going all in? So will you have funds left over after buying 20 BTCs at $1,000. I was thinking about 20 BTCs at like, and if it cracks to like 750, I doubt it will. But I mean, you never know. But I didn't know if you were going all in. I would definitely have an advice on that if you were. And as long as you make profit, Patrick, I mean, that's all really you can ask for. Okay, good. Yeah, don't go all in. Because let's just say hypothetically, you go all in and you buy 20 BTCs and then it drops to 900. It's like, you're basically down, $100 per coin. That's $2,000 if you're buying 20. You won't have any extra funds left to actually lower your cost average. You definitely want to add more as it's dropping. And if it's dropping significantly, like if it's dropping, especially with Bitcoin, if it drops $30, $40, $50, I wouldn't add more at that price point. I would add more at a very good price point, at a very good drop, because that's going to really lower your cost average. And for some reason, I can't even look at the order book for GDAX. It's not loading for me. I'm sure you guys can see that. Order book, depth chart, not loading. Yeah, I got to refresh this. That's not good. I can't watch. I can't see this and take a look and see if anybody's trying to, manipulate this price movement. Yeah, this thing is still Ether still trending under 40. Yeah, sorry about the issues, guys. Yeah, this is not really a pretty chart, but I'm just trying to spot some trends here. So Logan, remember we talked about a cup and handle? I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I'm sure the audio is good. But right over here, where it says basically March 19th to March 20th. Now, cup and handle is not always going to be 100%. And this is basically on the 30-minute chart. But, we'd have to look at really the overall chart to really find a good cup and handle. But here's a perfect example of a cup and handle. And this is mainly for scalp, and this is not for long-term investors, especially if you're getting in late. But here's a cup right here. Let me see if I can draw just an arrow to it. So there's a circle that I put in there. So the cup is basically right here, right in that middle of the circle that I drew. Basically it went up nicely, came down, it curled and kind of went sideways for a little bit, and then it came down. And then basically at that fall with scalping is where I would be looking to get in, because then it would have a nice movement up. So that was basically when the handle completely formed. The low was 41 bucks, and then it went up to a little over 45, 45.20, 45.18. So you'd play the 41, maybe a little over 41, you would be able to get in and then get out at 45. Handle. But let's see if this is even forming a cup and handle on a bigger chart. This would have been a good cup and handle, but it's really not a cup and handle. Actually, here's one right here. And this is on a 1-hour chart. Looks like represents a 1-hour price movement. Let me put a circle there. This might be a handle. So the first one I showed you is just kind of right outside. Let me see. This is the first one I showed you, right outside the circle that I just drew. There was a cup, there was a handle, nice little pop. But the one I'm going to draw out in the circle is also a cup and handle, which would have given you, a more significant gains. But it's just hardest to, to find the bottom of that handle part. So right in the circle, you kind of have the cup, handle comes down and forms, and then it shoots up. So that would have been a gain from. So basically within this, there's basically 2 cup and handles. But the one that I'm looking at now has a better gain. And that basically went from about 30, let me see. Looks like a little under 37, 36, 36.50, 36.47 to about 45.64. So about $8, maybe a little under $8 on this cup and handle formation. But I mean, if you're looking at the overall chart of a stock, you know, maybe it's overall from, you know, start to beginning, and you see a big handle and a nice, you know, handle forming, you know, you might want to analyze it. I wouldn't get in right away, but analyze it and look for a good entry, because you are going to have that pop. It's not 100%, but majority of the time they do. ECS Fusion, welcome, buddy. Hope all's well. And I did get your email. No, I didn't get an email from you. It was somebody else. I'm sorry. Dr. 10, welcome, buddy. It's good to see that you came back. You know, it's going to be tough today. Yesterday, I was looking for the 32.05, and you know, before I went to sense me having that 32.05, I'm sorry, 31.25, because I can't. You were on this yesterday, I think. I canceled the 32.05. I just didn't like the way it looked, and then found a better support at the 31.25. And of course, yesterday didn't execute. Today, this morning at 4 a.m., it would have executed. But I didn't want to leave that on there, considering, you know, the current price that it was at. It wasn't that far apart, and I didn't want it to execute, you know, late at night and then keep dipping without really me taking a look at the charts, the order books, things like that, to see, you know, is this being manipulated? Is that entry still good, or are bots still in play? So I actually had a low ball offer in, and I think that low ball offer was like $30. But I didn't see it drop to 38.50 this morning. I wasn't on my computer. I was on my phone, and I thought it only had dropped to about 38.70, 38.80. But that wouldn't have been a nice. That would have been a nice scalp, you know, from 38.50. I probably wouldn't have caught it at 38.50, 38.75. I might have caught it, and then to get out at $41. Its high was 41.15. Even from 39 to 41, $2 per coin would have been pretty good. Hey, I'm gonna walk away from my computer for just about 5 minutes, but I'm not gonna mute this, and everything should be working fine. Let's see what I missed. Hopefully not much. Yeah, price still under 40 bucks. That might be the trend. It's going to stay under 40 today. And GDAX is frozen on me. It is not moving. Yeah, I am having issues, guys. So GDAX is not working properly. At least for me, it's not. But William, so if you're still on here, and if anybody's on here that hasn't subscribed yet, please subscribe so you'll get the when I'm doing a live stream or even when I post a video. Logan, I like that comment. 1% of the currency market accepts Bitcoin, which equals $100,000 per Bitcoin. Would love to see that. And I don't know if you guys knew, but companies are starting to Bitcoin that you would never think of them buying Bitcoin and holding, to make money off of it. They're actually holding for ransomware in case they get hacked. Yeah, it must be just my computer. Well, it is around that time, 10:44. I know students are kind of waking up. Thank you, William. I appreciate that, man. And Logan, it was weird. I think it was yesterday. I got an email saying you subscribed, and I was like, "Why am I getting this email now?" I'm like, Logan's been with me since day one, back in January when I started YouTube. So it was weird that I got that email. And Apple just got hacked recently. I don't know if it really made mainstream news yet, but by some Turkish family crime organization, and they're basically looking to extort Bitcoin out of them. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, possibly. To get those notifications, there's a little like bell symbol next to the subscribe button. If you click on that, then you should get those emails. But shoot is always a magic word. It's never real time. But yeah, there's a lot of buy orders that I'm looking at right now that are in the book. The 38.90 price level for 1,025. I don't know if that's just a fake wall. So I got to keep an eye on that trade, see if it comes off and then comes back on, because then that's just one person. Patrick, hopefully you marked it up, sell at a higher price than what it was worth, since they needed those Bitcoins. Or did you just get market value for it? Patrick, but some companies don't have a choice. They don't have the infrastructure, so they'd rather pay than to spend the money on security. And that's why some of these companies are really Bitcoin and just holding in case that happens. Yeah, dude, get premium for it. I would have probably marked it up 50% and say, well, if you want it now, you got to wait 50, pay 50% more. Yeah, I don't think Apple's going to pay. I mean, as big companies they are, they should have the infrastructure to fight that. But yeah, you're right, Patrick. I do agree with that. Companies should just make sure that they don't get hacked in the first place, but they don't want to spend the money for the infrastructure. They would rather pay the ransom. Now, unless the ransom is high, where they're asking for like 10,000 BTCs, but I think a lot of them are just asking for like a little under 100 BTCs, maybe. Yeah, there's been like hospitals out like in the Midwest USA that got hacked, and I think the guy only wanted like 30 BTCs, and I was like, that's it? Only 30? They paid it. DR10, that's a great idea, man. It's always good to learn candlesticks. I don't know them all. I know the most important ones that I kind of look for. But yeah, it's good to know charting candlesticks. There's a lot more to it than just that, though. It does. If you can read music, and you really study those candle charts. I play the guitar. I can't read, can't read notes. I never really took the time. I just grabbed my guitar and started jamming out. I know the chords, but I couldn't read a note. I mean, there's so many different ways of learning it. I mean, there's free online. I mean, you can just Google, learning candlesticks and just learn the most important ones, the most popular ones. Are you talking about the notes, the music notes? Yeah, I just I don't have the time for it. I've had a guitar for maybe 20 years now, and it's very rare that I play it. Life is kind of busy with kids, so I kind of focus my energy on trading. But occasionally here and there, I'll get it and start playing, and then my fingers hurt so much that it's just like I gotta start playing this at least a half an hour a day. If I could play a half an hour a day, my fingers wouldn't hurt as much. All right, let's see what she does. 38.99, but our for 38.90 is still there unless my computer's just frozen. He hasn't taken it off, so it's not a fake wall, or it could just be multiple buyers, possibly not one. But if you guys are watching this and you spot something come off and go off, definitely let me know. Yeah, and then the one odd thing that I'm trying to figure out of what it is, and I haven't figured it out yet, and Logan, definitely keep an eye on it, is if you're looking at the sell side at 39.89, it's grayed out. 39.64, it's grayed out. 39.44 price point, it's grayed out. They're not in red. And then also the amount of ether that's looking to be bought. Some of them are in white, some of them are in red or orange. Let's see, did that price point get executed? No, 38.90 still there. So I need to figure out what that is possibly mean, because this is the first time I'm actually seeing that. Unless it's my computer. Let me know if you see that. I know you can see it on this. 39.89 is grayed out. 39.64 is grayed out, and 39.44 is grayed out. Now they're not. So that was strange. I'm gonna say the amount of ether that was being bought out, or that was being sold in red, maybe short selling, maybe shorts. But I didn't think GDAX allowed you to short. Yeah, DR10, you got to start somewhere. You know, baby steps. I think I said yesterday, you can't learn everything at once. It'll take you time. Same thing on the buy side. 39.20, 39.19, 39.17 are grayed out. It's interesting. Normally when they're grayed out, they're being executed, but there are orders on top of it. Yeah, Patrick, I think you're right. You know, they start low. He's hacked. So the hackers will start low to see, hey, you know what? Is this a company that's going to pay? Or is it a company that's not going to pay at all? And if it's a company that pays, then there's going to be future hacks on that same company. But yeah, I didn't think about that. Because 30 ether to a company is not much. You know, it might be like the janitor's salary. Yeah, William, I do like MACD. I like the moving averages. I look at the simple moving average, exponential moving average. But that's, yeah, I usually look at those when, if I'm looking to get into something for long term, and just to kind of see, what is it trending? Is it trending, the 10-day moving average, the 50-day moving average? And I'll change those moving averages, the time frame, depending if I'm just in and out or if I'm going to be long term. But most popular ones are usually like 14, 20, 50, 100 day moving average. Our buyer's still there. Uh, DR10. I mean, you want to look at, the order book. In CryptoCurrency, it's order book. If you're trading stocks, it's level 2. But you got to be able to spot certain things, where buyers and sellers are stacking up, because that will determine, what that candle is going to do. Just watch as many videos as you can. Logan, is your GDA? Because I'm only getting like the trade side to move, the trade history. Nothing else is moving for me. Yeah, I'm not getting any movement on GDAX at all. And I basically have 3 price points: 39.48 on the candlestick, 39.22 on the depth chart, 39.45 at the top left. I'm thinking it's GDAX, because Crypto Watch is moving when the price moves. And on the right hand side, you see the red line and the green line. That's their version of the depth chart. And as long as that's moving, I know download is pretty good. 1,000 buy wall gone. Was that on that 38.90 level? I still see him on there, but mine might not have changed. Patrick, I do like the RSI, Relative Strength Index. Yeah, I use RSI probably 99% of the time, and that just kind of tells you the strength of it. So anything above, 70, people are going to be selling. It's oversold. Basically, anything over 70 tells you that it's overbought, and anything under 30, it tells you that it's oversold. So the Relative Strength Index (RSI), I look at that heavily. They don't have that on GDAX though. Yeah, dude, RSI is good to use. I mean, it's not 100% though. I think like who said it? William. I mean, you got to look at a couple of different indicators. You can't just look at one and go by that. Yeah, Logan, our 1,000 buy are still there, 39.90. I'm sorry, 38.90. Let's see as it dips if it comes off. And I don't see anything big on the sell side that would indicate, okay, this person might be trying to manipulate this to go up. Unless that person only has, 200 Ether or 100 Ether. But let's see as it gets close to his price point if he or she takes it off. $39.46. There was 1,000 buyer. Or was it executed? Let's see. 39. ECS, welcome back. Your dad got RSI from opening gin bottles. 38.90 gone. No, he's still there. At least from what I see. 1,025.3, but the 25.3 could be one person, and then the 1,000 could be the big buyer. Yeah, so this is a sideways movement. I mean, nothing great about this at all. Let me look at the 15-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, So the issue I'm having right now with the order book is, we got a seller at 39.32, and the actual price is 39.47. So 39.32 is a seller, and then 39.28 is a buyer. It's showing a spread of 4 cents. I mean, it's not moving for me. I got the chart somewhat moving. Yeah, because it was just at 39.40 something. Yeah, it's definitely my computer. Yeah, when it was 39.48 price point, there was a seller at 39.32. Yeah, I got to. Yeah, William, Bollinger Band. I mean, there's so many indicators you can use, but you just got to be comfortable with a couple of them and stick to them. Don't overwhelm yourself with hundreds of different indicators that are out there. I don't know, ECS. The more, in my opinion, I mean, everybody's different, but yeah, I try to keep a nice clean chart, which is a couple indicators. The more you have, the more confusing. And I've tried a bunch of them, and I'm like, this is more confusing than anything else, because you're looking at so many other different things, especially with level 2, the timestamp or the trade history on cryptocurrency. Yeah, you guys can't hear me, but my computer's frozen.